Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you are new here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to do that at all. We've had our first press conference. Can we say it's the first press conference of the season? I think we can. It was an interesting one. Couple of bombshells in there. But no, we're looking forward to the season, aren't we, as Chelsea fans? We really are. As always, make sure you like this video. You let me know your thoughts as well. Don't forget to do all of those things in the comment section below. Linktree link is in the description. So make sure you hit the Linktree link in there as well. Let me know your thoughts in the Linktree link as always. But let's get straight into it. Because whilst we thought we had everything under control at Chelsea, we don't. We don't. Because as you can see here, as part of the press conference, Enzo Maresca confirmed that we have a problem. We have a problem. And the problem is Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill, last 2 days, we don't know how long he will be out for. Hopefully not too long. It's a problem. We need to wait. We don't know yet. Just when things are going so well for us as Chelsea fans, we get news like this. This news could be a make or break time for us. It really could. There's a bit more in here as well. He was very vague, Maresca, if we're being honest. He was very, very vague on the injury, on the timeline. It's only happened on Monday, apparently. So I get that you can't really give too much information away, or you can't really talk about, the impacts that you'll have on a season. But he went on to say about Maresca, depends. We need to wait. Then we'll see. In our way, we know how important he's been. Spoke with him yesterday. If we achieve what we achieved, it's because of him. I don't know. It didn't sound like an injury. I'll be honest, and I'm always skeptical when these kind of things come up, because here we go, another one. So Enzo Maresca on Levi Colwill's issue. It was the first session on Monday. In the last minutes of the session, he felt something. You can't make it up. Like we lose Wesley Fofana for the best part of the season, and then we lose Levi Colwill, which is going to be a big, massive issue, I think, for us. If I'm being honest, I think it's a massive deal. But it's just our way. It's the Chelsea way of doing things. We don't do things easily. It was very vague from Maresca. Very, very vague from Maresca, in my opinion. I just didn't like the fact that he didn't give us an indication of how the injury happened, or what the expected time frame will be. We never got any of that. We just got, we don't know. Very, very vague from the manager. Didn't like that at all. Did not like that at all. But the silver lining of this is, because I know there's going to be a lot of Chelsea fans now that will say we should go and buy someone, or we need to go and get someone. I don't think we need to. I generally don't think we need to. I think we need to, if I'm being honest, I think we need to just assess what we know from the manager. He's happy with Chalobah. We know that Dizazi and Badiashile potentially are going to go anyway. I think that's still the case. I still think that's the thing. I don't think we need to worry too much about centre backs. We don't. We've got enough cover, in my opinion. We have enough cover in our team. I'm not concerned. The only thing that concerned me was that it didn't fill me with joy that we didn't get to really understand the impact of the injury for Levi Colwill. That's the only thing for me. It was very, very vague, Mudryk-esque vague. It just felt like, if you remember back when Mudryk was supposedly injured. It felt like that a little bit. It felt like that a little bit. I'm not convinced. Big up to John Joseph in the chat. Big yourself up. Onu as well. Chavi. Let's hope we get that Chavi deal done next couple of days or so. Be good if we could. Be good if we could. I think we need to get that deal done. We really do. It's but back to Colwill. I just don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a massive deal. I think I think we've got Chalobah, who I'm confident that can play very, very well. We also know about Badia Shield. He's not that bad of a. Is he the best? Not at all. But is he someone that can come in and do a job? He can, 100%. 100% he can. He's I got trust in Chalobah. This might be the silver lining for Chalobah. This might be the thing that actually stops him from going out on a permanent sale somewhere. If it's a long-term injury for Colwell, which it sounds like it could be, the way that Maresca was very vague, it sounds like this could be a massive injury. I hope it isn't. I hope we don't lose a centre-back. But it didn't sound good from what Maresca was saying. Let's dive back into the press conference. Let's see what else was said. Because felt very edgy, the press conference. It didn't feel like it just didn't feel happy vibes from Maresca, I'll be honest. It did feel a little bit backs against the wall. You started it off with, we need to be ready in any case. It's important to start again in the way we finish the season. We need to see how we adapt, but for sure, we need to be ready. He also went on to talk about the new signings. So he said, I feel very happy about the new signings because they're the ones we were looking at, which is good. That shows that the recruitment, sporting directors, they've been doing their job behind the scenes. They got exactly what they wanted for all the players that Maresca wanted in. And we can't be against that. We have to be happy for Maresca. He's got his players. We need to see how we can adapt, but for sure we need to be ready. Happy for the new signings. Looking forward to seeing them for sure. They need time. That's a key thing he said, actually, that he said it a couple of times in the press conference, that some of these players are going to need time. And some of the old players, he said Wesley Fofana potentially will not be fit for tomorrow's game or Sunday's game at all. He's still not fully fit, which is expected. He did get asked a question about Estevao, but I think there was a breakdown in translation, really. I think the lady that was asking the question was asking about Joao Heto, and I think Estevao, I don't know how they got confused, but he got confused. So he mentioned about Estevao. He said, for me, the biggest mistake we can do for him is to put him under pressure. He's very young and needs to adapt. He's a fantastic player. He's very young. He's a happy boy. And I agree with that with Estevao. I think we have to make sure that we give him the game time, like I said the other night, but we also need to make sure that we're not overkilling him. There's a little bit extra on Estevao that I think he spoke about. He's referenced him very similar to Cole Palmer, which I thought was good. In terms of Joao Heto, he said he's much more mature than his age. Even with him, different country, league, tempo, intensity, he needs to adapt for sure. No doubt he will help us. So you would think now there could be a breakthrough for Joao Heto already, because Levi Colwell's out. I said when we signed Joao Heto that he can play as a left centre back. We might get to see him. We might get to see him. We might get to see him play. We never know on Friday. Nicholas Jackson. Let's talk about Nicholas Jackson. Because I thought that was interesting, the way that the question was asked to Enzo Maresca. And he answered it very well, to be fair. He answered it in the way that I thought he would. He said, Nico's okay. When the window is open, anything can happen. This involves Nico's situation. At the moment, the two strikers have arrived, so we will see. I mean, that doesn't sound very... If I was Nicholas Jackson and I was hearing my manager say that doesn't sound very good. I wouldn't be confident walking into Cobham this morning, hearing my manager say that we've got two new strikers and they're kind of ahead of you in the pecking order. And that's what we've been saying all along for the last couple of weeks, that Nicholas Jackson has to understand now that there is competition in the number 9 role. And that competition is there. You know, it's very, very clear. Pedro Neto is also a player that can play as a number 9. But we've got João Pedro, we've got Liam Delap now. So, but he also went on Maresca to say, I can see that the mood is much better in terms of when you finish the season the way we finished. In any case, it's going to give the players more energy. As I said, we need to see how we manage these type of situations. And he also went on to say that the situation is quite clear. They are training. I guess they are waiting for the solutions. When they leave, the club texts or calls me. I don't pay attention to the ones that are training and need to leave. I just focus on how we prepare the season and win games. That is very, I like that about Maresca. Maresca done this when he first came to the club, to be honest. He said all the right things and he won me over because he was saying everything that was just everything that we needed to hear as Chelsea fans. He was saying it. And he's doing the same thing this season. And I feel like he's maybe learned a lot from his mistakes that he made last season. But that's very telling for someone like Nicholas Jackson. You know, I'm not concerned about the players that will potentially not be here at the start of the season. I'm focused on the team that's here, that will be part of my squad, that will be part of the team, that will play for me this season. And like he said, the club texts or calls me when the player's gone. Very cutthroat, but I like that about Maresca. He's very, maybe it's the Italian in him, but he's definitely cutthroat, and I like that. You know, he's not Graham Potter in us. He's not going to tell us a bit of bullshit and then do something completely different. He's trying to be as clear and transparent, I think, as he can, as much as possible, which is good for us. It says here as well about the matches over the next couple of days. We're going to try and share the minutes with all of them. Some of them, Hato, they start very early. So we'll try to share minutes. We will see if we can try different tactical things for the season. Very interesting as well. Very, very interesting, because part of me thinks that we have to change things tactically next season. We can't play the way we played last season. And I'm basing that on the signings that we've made already this season. So you look at Gittins, you look at João Pedro, Liam Delap. If we do get Xavi Simons coming through the doors, if we end up with Garnacho, Cole Palmer's still there. We now have Andre Santos, Estevao. So I think tactically we might have to tweak things to make things work a little bit better. But it's interesting he says that. We might see João Heto from the very start then. We might see him from the very start, which again, I'm not against. I think it's probably the best thing to do is to throw him straight in there. Nkunku should get out of my club, honestly. I don't know. I don't know about that, John Joseph. I think with Nkunku, I think he's a player. I've said it on here before, but I feel like he's a player that just either needs to be given a lot of consistency, and I still think there is a role for him. And I'm going to say it again, I think we would be crazy to strengthen a rival, especially in the Premier League. Especially in the Premier League, I think we'd be stupid to strengthen a Manchester United or a Newcastle. You know, I just don't see what logic that would do for us to strengthen a rival. So I think if he does go, he goes, but I think it'd be to another European team. I don't think it'll be to another English Premier League team. Let's continue. Maresca on Estevao. He can play everywhere. He is so good. He's like Cole in terms of the positions. He can play everywhere, which is good. Which is what I was saying. You know, he can play off the left. He can play as the 10. He can play on the right. Predominantly, I think I'd like to see him more on the right side. I think that's where, I think for, you know, while he was in Brazil, that's where he was playing. So I think we would probably see him a bit more on the right-hand side. What does that mean for Cole Palmer? But I think it's good that he's referencing that he can play a similar role to Cole Palmer, which I think, you know, we knew that anyway. He also added to Estevao. With him, we need to pay more attention. He's very, very young, not under pressure. Give him happiness, give him time. Hopefully we can give him minutes so he's more happy. He's a talented player. That was on Estevao. But I'll be honest, with Estevao, I think we do need to manage his minutes, but I think we also need to see him in action. We need to see him in action. So yes, manage minutes, but make sure that he's getting the game time. And I think we'll have our preview out later on for the Bayern Leverkusen game. I'll have my predicted lineup for that, but I think he would definitely have to fit into our lineup the next couple of days or so. I just don't think we can not play him. I think he's too good to be sat on the bench. Wesley Fofana, Wes is back. He's training. I don't think he's ready for minutes in the next 2 games, but could be available for Crystal Palace. It's a big season for Big Wes. It's a massive season for him. He has to get it right. If he doesn't get it right, then I think the problem that we will face with Wesley Fofana is if he gets another big injury, I think he's out the door. He gets sold easily. I don't think we can even keep him. I think we have to let him go. I think he's had too many big injuries, and at the moment, I think Trevor Chalobah's ahead of him in the pecking order. I think Trevor Chalobah is ahead of him in the pecking order because, well, just because he is. Let's be honest, he's just ahead of him. I did want to talk about something else actually before we wrap up, because I don't know if you guys got to see this, but of course, the club world champions are triggering Jamie Carragher. Of course we are. It's what we do. It's what we do. I just don't understand his problem, really, to be fair. I don't understand his problem. But this sums it up actually. This sums it up for us. This sums it all up. Tony Cascarino responds to Carragher's assertion that Chelsea isn't near title contention. For anyone that didn't know or doesn't know what Jamie Carragher said, and I'll try and find some quotes for it in a minute, but he basically said that he was almost trying to play down the achievement of winning the Club World Cup. And also had to throw in that, well, Liverpool are the champions of England. They're not in there. They should be in there. It doesn't make sense, all the rest of it. And I don't know. And I mean, I'm not Rory Jennings' biggest fan at all. In fact, I'm not a fan of his at all. And he was making some valid points to Carragher. And Scholesy was sat next to Carragher. I don't think they understand. You have to win the biggest prize in Europe over the last 4 years to be in the Club World Cup. It's that simple. It's that simple. You have to win the biggest European trophy to be in the Club World Cup. Forget the English Premier League. Forget the FA Cup. You have to win the most prestigious trophy in European football from a Chelsea or English club's perspective to get into the Club World Cup. And it goes back to the point that I made a couple of weeks ago when I said that, people are playing down the fact we've won the Club World Cup. They're playing it down, but let's be honest. It's the Club World Cup. It's a big thing. It generates money for the club. It's a massive trophy. If Liverpool were in there, Jamie Carragher would not be playing down the Club World Cup. He would not be playing it down. It would be one of the biggest things. There'd be a trophy parade and everything for it. So I don't understand where this negativity comes from. It's just weird. I generally think it comes down to the fact that Gianfranco Zola turned Jamie Carragher inside out at Stamford Bridge many, many years ago. Some of you probably too young to remember. It's on YouTube. Go and find it. But I mean, here you go. More doubts. Jamie Carragher has cast doubts on Chelsea's progress under Todd Boehly and new boss Enzo Maresca, arguing that despite their Club World Cup triumph and another £250 million spent on signings, the Blues look no closer to challenging for the Premier League title. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. That's bullshit. That's coming from a player or a player or a fan of a club who's just won the Premier League. So I get you can say that because you just won it. But you have to understand the difference between Liverpool's football club and Chelsea's football club. And when the owners came in, these new owners, I think people forget the state of what the club was in. No striker. We didn't have any striker. Remember, we didn't have a striker since Diego Costa. The goalkeeper situation has been a mess for how many years? Our midfield was never recovered from the days when we had Kante in there. Defense has been, we lost Rudiger, if you remember. We lost Christensen that season when the takeover was happening. Rudiger went on a free transfer. We've lost Aspilicueta, leadership. So the club was in a mess. It was an absolute mess. You had to literally think of it as a house. You had to take the house back to brick, literally back to its bare bones and rebuild a house again. And that's what we're doing at Chelsea. This is not Liverpool. This whole thing about we're not ready to compete and all the rest of it. And everyone equates it to money as well, which is annoying. Because if you think about it this season, based on that logic, Liverpool have spent just as much as Chelsea have this season, if not more. So there can be no excuses for them to go and win that Premier League next season. They have to win it. It's just nonsense. It's just absolute nonsense hearing the likes of Carragher talking about things that no one's bothered about his opinion. Who cares about Jamie Carragher's opinion? It's just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But I'm looking forward to the match. I am looking forward to the match tomorrow. It should be a good game. Sunday's game, AC Milan as well. We're going to be doing our predicted lineups, all the rest of it on our social accounts as well. The podcast, hopefully we'll be back as well before the week is out. We'll be previewing hopefully the game. We'll have the match preview out as well as always. Press conferences are a thing of returned times. Maresca dropped a couple of bombs this morning. I'm sure there'll be many more before our game against Crystal Palace next Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. But don't forget, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that Linktree link, and we will be back later on today with more Chelsea news. Thank you very much for watching.